Hi everyone, welcome back to my video. Today I'll be showing you the best Mythical Epics and Prodigy Math Game. So, here and now, I have my voice reveal started again, and now these Mythical Epics are in order. Especially with Blue Fairy Magma, but we'll just go over it later. So the rules are that both of these epics, which are the costumes, will be in the form of sharing the place. Examples are Magma and Blue Fairy Magma, Solar and Nebula, Riptide, and anything else for the leaks, and Barbarian and Nocturion. So to gather some other places, I'll just have to go for the others in the occasions. Now, we'll have to start from number 5. And this is gonna be from about Blastar. Now, Blastar can be actually powerful to water and weak to plant, but it has a low power and it has a high health, which I'm not gonna worry about. But because it's actually having some good spells, it can actually kill these pets quickly, and that can result in a quick win. So to add the icing on the cake, we have to better make sure that we have to recharge to use the ion cannon and damage the pets. It also has a good defense too. Now apparently Blastar can be actually a pretty good pet in several occasions, and formerly it's actually having a lot of health. But now, since it's improved, we can actually see the health and power that can actually make an advantage of that. Its element was Storm, and it has pretty okay spells, but they can be good too, like Multi-Spark being able to get this pet if timed perfectly, and it has many more spells to go from, like Spark Spear or something like that. But well, I'll start with number 4. Number 4 will be Nebula and Solar. Nebula's element was Shadow, and the health was 600. Its power was 730, 11, 100, and it has a defense and it has a lower defense, but can be pretty powerful in some occasions. I did a video about Nebula and me using Shadow element spells, and therefore I should be able to recognize the fact that I should be able to use Nebula occasionally in some cases where the pets are too powerful. But since it has a lower defense, you can actually take many hits as you want. Examples are astrals and physical elements and something like that. They will actually defeat this pet pretty quickly, and especially with others that take advantage of. But to exploit this, we have so many power in here, and there's the health. Solar, on the other hand, is fire, and its health was 580 on level 94, and this will be the same as Nebula. And it might have a defense mechanism as the same as Nebula. Again, this will be powerful to ice, and it will get these pets pretty quickly using conflagration. Well, that actually might be my the shadow element is pretty better at some occasions, but I mean I don't use these pets quite often, but it's no shame that there's gonna be more mythical epics I can get for shadow elements, like the leaked ones, the V2 ones. Number 3, Mirrorhawk. Mirrorhawk can be it's the latest mythical epic, and it's actually a physical element, which I like the most. It has the health of 560 and level 92. It's the speed, the power, and has a lower defense. Because pets have a lower defense, it has higher power and lower hearts. These pets can actually be pretty powerful, but also vulnerable at the same time. Well, not only that, it has a barrage and other stuff. It also has the newest attack called Super Spear, which is the same as the Bite or something like that, Crunch, but it is more powerful than others. So the when to find out this kind of mythical epic is having some physical elements and apparently has pack and stuff like that. That is a good mythical epic I have to show you here. Its design was very good, and it has a snake on its tail. It also has wings flowing up, and it is good animated. Actually, the horns of these are pretty good, but I'm not gonna like these. You get more of them because griffins or something like that have the horns on his head. So okay, it also has a speed of 550, but one day it will be higher than that. And when you look at the Murahawk's spells, it can actually be good against enemies. Well, upon its attacks, this pet can be very excruciating to some others that are weak by it. But there's that reciprocal of doing something like that. So the stuff that's making them pretty good and stuff like that. But the wizards can actually defeat it pretty easily if it's weak by astral, and it's weak by astral. And Comet can do the thing by 560, and bam, it dies. But actually a pretty good pet, not gonna lie. Number 2. So we're gonna have actually I don't have many mythical epics, but I'm just gonna go for Luminite. Luminite is the only mythical epic that is astral, and it has a lot of fire spells except for astral, because the wizard is the only one who uses it. But Luminite has a power of 640, a defense at 450, a speed of 750, and health of 530. When to look at Luminite, it has a lot of power and can defeat ice pets really easily. But it can somehow be damaged by other spells that are just powerful to it. Well, health is 530, which some pets can kill it really quickly. I don't want that, but it's such a shame that these pets would actually defeat that cute little pet. That's so gorgeous. Anyways, we have this mythical epic is the only one with astral element, but it's actually having a huge difference, and which it has fire elements. It formerly does, and now it does. That's what the same is. But it can defeat ice pets really easily, as mentioned here, and that can actually be able to be along with other fire mythical epics and has conflagration, for example. Well, it also has Kindle, which is pretty good spell that can defeat ice enemies in a random thing. So Luminite can be very beneficial for other wizards, especially with its power and ice pets. Now, let's go over some honorable mentions, shall we? Shiver and Scorch and Splash and Spark. I do not have Splash and Spark because I'm pretty late getting it, but I was pretty lazy of getting that one. So, anyways, Shiver and Scorch can be a water element, which is the worst element in the game, as mentioned by Glass Inferno, and it has health of 640, the power of 800, and defense of 490. So when to look at this mythical epic, that can actually take advantage of this mythical epic in order. And there's a brief point that this mythical epic can gather defeating only about 3 elements prior to the spells that it has. It also has Torrent, which is a pretty amazing spell that can be once per battle after recharged. But Shiver and Scorch can be very good of defeating pets with Fireball, Ice Splinter or something. And there's like a bunch that can there's like a bunch of but the downside is that storm pets like Vamplifer and Prodraxis can actually defeat this very quickly, especially with storm spells like Spark Spear, Ion Cannon, stuff like that. This can actually be a pretty beneficial choice for many wizards, but they can also be found commonly in some other areas. Well, not really, because not only this mythical epic can be found by wizards, or something like that, but this mythical epic can also be found as a mythical epic, and therefore they're in Shiver Mountains and Bonfire Spire. Anyways, let's go back to where we were this time. Arcturian and Barbarian. Arcturian's element was physical, and its health was 960, the speed is 420, and the power is 460, and 450 for defense and level 96. Especially with its power like that, Tremor is the only area effect spell that can actually be powerful against enemies. Well, temporarily it just becomes gone, and now I put Arcturian as the armament mention because the element was physical and it has rechargeable spells that only be recharged by 2 turns, except for ice spells. And when to look at this pet, it has many things to go on. Well, this pet can be easily be shot by other astrals or fire pets because of its element, and because of its power, it can actually be very weak without shame. And because of its health, but because of the health, which is its improvement upside, it can actually be defensible by other mechanics. But it can actually be weaker against astral spells or fire spells. What I'm gonna guess for. The defense is 450, in which it is not defensible against other elements, particularly in some cases. And its speed, it's pretty slow. Not only that, but also pretty bad at the same time. And this also goes for Barbarian. The plant element, the same health, the same power, the same defense, and the same speed. And it is actually the same stats as Arcturian, but having some better spells. For example, the plant spells are not. There's no rechargeable things or lagging, but there's only one spell that has 1 turn, I guess. But also has some other physical element spells that are just rechargeable by 2 or 1. When we look at the power, it actually represents the thinking of Arturon using this spell. I mean, no, Barbarian using that spell. One of my mistakes. And I'll have to go. And it can actually defeat Storm Pets that easily or hardly. In occasionally. But when we look at this pet and it has lower defense, it can actually be defeated by ice pets. Well, with their power of Frost Spear, Glacier, Iceberg, many more. Now, the best mythical epic of these are Magmayhem and Blue Furry Magmayhem. When we look at Magmayhem, it has fire. The health is 600, speed is 400, the power is 770, and 810. Wait, so its health was 620, the speed is 460, the power is 810, and defense is 470. When we look at this pet, it's actually fire, which can defeat ice pets very quickly, and can be actually very beneficial to other wizards and norms. When to look at this kind of mythical epic that is separate by these, its power was 470, the speed is 400, and the health is 600. It can actually be very agreeable. That's the best mythical epic in Prodigy, along with Blue Fairy Magmayhem. But since it is weak to water, water pets can defeat it in no time, along with other mythical epics. But the power is 770 and defense is 450, which are both pretty good at some others. I mean, my power was 770 and the defense is 450, so don't worry about it. I think the power was 810 and defense is 460. Both of these are pretty good in others that can actually be able to decide by handy. And Blue Fairy Magmayhem, on the other hand, has one Shadow Element spell, in which it is Shadow Blast. One of the good shadow spells out there. Blue Fairy Magmayhem is actually very good and also very better than Magmayhem due to its shadow spell. But it can also be the same as Magmayhem, as water pets can actually defeat it in no time, as mentioned by Magmayhem previously. In terms of its design, it's actually better than Magmayhem due to its anger and eyes, the spikes on its head and back, and with its burning bubbles. Well, actually, it's one of my favorite designs in Magmayhem, just because of its design. But I also like Magmayhem too, with its fiery horns on its head and with a fire under his hand, and with the rocks beside it. It also has some very good spells, with being Fire Barrage, Conflagration, and stuff, that can allow it to defeat ice pets really easily if used by Conflagration. Also, before we go, we're gonna finish one of the honorable mentions of mythical epics, since I don't have any more mythical. I don't have any mythical epics for that. Glimmerwing. Glimmerwing actually is an ice mythical epic that's its defense was 410 on level 95, 480, 709, which is the fastest, and health. This pet can be a little bit mediocre, especially with its power, but it has some good ice spells that can penetrate these enemies very quickly. And it can also be very versatile at some others to play with. I used this mythical epic to use Glacier and also with Keeper, which it is the best ice pet in Prodigy. With its spells and its coverage of Glacier, it can be very good at some others that can be extraordinary to anything that comes to Glimmerwing. But it can be defeated by other fire pets in normal cases, just because of its power and health. One more honorable mention we have to go for is Riptide. It might be one of the worst mythical epics in Prodigy, but I don't think it's the worst out of all of them. Yeah, but it has a health of 850 and level 93, with speed of 410, with 410 and defense of 540 at level 93. I don't want to worry about level 100 because I'm not in here yet. So, when you look at the element is water, it has the only non-chargeable spell, which is Multi-Splash, which its aim is okay, but can miss more often. But because it has many physical element spells with that, it can actually be beneficial by using Sever to defeat these pets if they're at a lower level than 93. Especially with comboing with Multi-Splash and using Sever. It also has a defense of 540 and level 93, which is pretty good for other defense mechanisms. Excuse me. And the element was water because, well, it's just water. And so when you look at this mythical epic, it has a pretty good amount of health, which it can take more hits than usual. But since it's weak to storm pets can actually take advantage easily by using storm spells like Ion Cannon, many more that can insta kill this mythical epic. Right away we have a lot of things to go for. But Riptide isn't the only worst mythical epic in this kind of thing. In this kind of list. And that's all I need to cover. That's a pretty long video, but I will decide to subscribe and like this video. See you all soon.